Hello dear viewers, and welcome back to the channel where we dissect the most compelling and often troubling stories emanating from the hallowed halls of the British monarchy. Today we delve into a developing crisis that is not merely a headache for the House of Windsor, but an existential threat being wielded as a powerful weapon by those who seek the monarchy's end. We are of course talking about the ongoing shadowcast by Prince Andrew, the former Duke of York, and the unprecedented legal action now being prepared against him by the anti-monarchist campaign group Republic. This is more than just a public relations nightmare. It is a confrontation over the very principle of legal equality in the United Kingdom. Before we unpack the deeply concerning details of this investigation and the dramatic advice Prince Andrew has reportedly received from the palace, please take a moment to show your support. Do remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss our in-depth royal analysis. The Gauntlet Throne, Republic's legal offensive. For years, the scandals surrounding Prince Andrew have been a constant source of embarrassment, eroding public trust and giving ample ammunition to those who oppose the concept of inherited privilege. But now, the anti-monarchist movement has moved beyond mere protest and rhetoric. They are launching a direct legal offensive that bypasses the established and, in their view, compromised state institutions. The organization known simply as Republic has escalated its campaign dramatically. They have engaged a team of specialized legal experts to conduct a thorough investigation into the allegations leveled against the former Duke of York. This is not a symbolic gesture. This is the groundwork for potential litigation. King Charles Roman III's younger brother, who has already been stripped of his military affiliations and use of the His Royal Highness style, now faces the very real possibility of legal action being initiated by a private entity dedicated to his family's removal from power. Republic is investigating and meticulously exploring every conceivable avenue to ensure what they term accountability and justice. The stakes here are incredibly high. Should Republic succeed in initiating a private prosecution, it would set a seismic legal precedent, fundamentally challenging the long-held notion that members of the royal family operate above the reach of standard criminal proceedings. The CEO of Republic, Graham Smith, has been unsparing in his commentary, expressing a profound frustration that resonates with many observers of the saga. In his view, the necessity of a private body having to undertake this monumental task is a damning indictment of the entire British establishment. Mr. Smith recently articulated this profound concern, stating unequivocally, "If not us, then who? It's a devastating indictment on the UK criminal justice system, police and politicians, not to mention the king and heir, that we must resort to a private prosecution." Think about the gravity of that statement for a moment. The head of a major political campaign group is essentially accusing the nation's legal apparatus, its political leaders, and even the current monarch and the future king of failing in their duty to uphold the law impartially. This sentiment is powerful because it taps directly into the public anxiety that the powerful are shielded from the consequences faced by ordinary citizens. Graham Smith shows absolutely no mercy in his assessment of the situation, particularly concerning the notion of royal immunity. He emphasized the crucial democratic principle at stake, explaining, and I quote, "It should be a cause for concern that so many people believe, rightly in my view, that the royals are not treated equally in law. Equality in law is a basic tenet of democracy. The core of the issue, as framed by Republic, is not just Andrew's guilt or innocence, which he consistently denies, but whether the entire system is rigged to protect him simply because of his birthright. The scope of the allegations, the charges that Republic's legal specialists are currently examining, are wide-ranging and exceptionally serious. They go far beyond the widely publicized civil matters, moving squarely into the realm of criminal potential. The areas under consideration include historic claims of sexual assault, serious allegations of corruption and misconduct whilst holding public office. It is important to reiterate that Prince Andrew, who is now 60 years old, has maintained a steadfast and consistent denial of all allegations leveled against him throughout this protracted ordeal. However, the path to justice has already encountered significant hurdles. We must recall that the Metropolitan Police, after reviewing the allegations of sexual assault, concluded at that time that the claims were not sufficient to warrant further official investigation. This decision, while technically official, has done little to quell the public outcry or satisfy groups like Republic. Indeed, Graham Smith thinks entirely differently from the Met Police's earlier conclusion. He stressed his belief that the evidence is compelling enough to necessitate a full, transparent, and rigorous inquiry. I firmly believe there is strong enough evidence to justify a serious investigation, Smith stressed. He then went on to articulate the deep suspicion that pervades the public sphere regarding the official inaction, suggesting a deliberate attempt to sweep the matter under the rug. The authorities and politicians appear to want to look the other way while minimizing the accusations made against Andrew. The truth must prevail, and justice must be seen to be done, Graham Smith concluded, summarizing the driving motivation behind this unprecedented private legal drive. This move by Republic is a persistent, focused effort to force the hand of justice. They have consistently advocated for formal police action and prosecution against Andrew, viewing the failure of the state to act as a profound dereliction of duty. The retreat from Royal Lodge and the call for escape. The legal and public pressure has clearly reached a tipping point, resulting in dramatic action behind the scenes at the palace. This escalation of legal threat emerges immediately after the royal family, undoubtedly led by King Charles Roman III, signaled its desire for Prince Andrew to vacate his sprawling and famous residence. The Royal Lodge, this request to leave his home of many years, is far more than a simple matter of a change of address. It seems to be part of a calculated strategy to remove Andrew from the immediate line of fire. The implication is clear. The palace is attempting to provide Andrew with a compelling reason and a convenient opportunity to physically flee from the ongoing protests and the increasing threat of legal action against him. Right here in his homeland, the atmosphere around him has become toxic, and the king is seemingly desperate to mitigate the daily damage Andrew's presence inflicts upon the institution. A highly placed palace source confirmed the immediate necessity of this change in circumstances, stating quite plainly, Andrew has been advised to change his surroundings. This advice is rooted not just in public optics, but in concern or perhaps expediency for Andrew's own mental state. The source continued, painting a picture of a man under extreme duress. It's time for him to prioritize his well-being and find a way to heal. Oh yes, he's undoubtedly under extreme stress about his family's future and reputation following new claims. The mention of new claims suggests that the legal storm is far from over, and that the investigation by Republic may already be yielding fresh, worrying material for the royal household. The move to urge him to leave the Royal Lodge, a symbol of his former status, is a dramatic step in his slow and painful exile from royal life. It reinforces the notion that he has become a liability too significant to remain within the central orbit of the monarchy. The intrigue of the unknown destination, the necessity of retreat has led to the chilling revelation that Prince Andrew is reportedly thinking of traveling to an unknown destination to avoid the relentless spotlight and the looming legal cloud. This proposed flight raises profound questions. Where would a disgraced former royal go to truly escape the reach of international media and, more importantly, international law? This suggests a destination where extradition treaties might be less robust, or where privacy can be bought with greater ease than in the UK or the Commonwealth nations. The choice of an unknown destination is a strong indication of the level of panic within Andrew's inner circle. They perceive the danger of a private prosecution coupled with relentless media scrutiny to be so severe that complete disappearance is the only viable strategy for survival both legally and psychologically. For King Charles Roman III, managing this situation is a delicate dance. He must be seen to be caring for his younger brother, yet simultaneously protecting the integrity of the crown. Allowing Andrew to remain visible and accessible in the UK only fuels the fire of anti-monarchists like Republic. By advising him to leave the royal lodge and seek refuge abroad, Charles is attempting to quarantine the scandal, pushing it outside the immediate boundaries of British political life, even if only temporarily. Chapek, the political weaponization of scandal, the saga of Prince Andrew, serves as a perfect storm for anti-monarchist groups. His alleged misconduct and the perceived systemic protection he receives are powerful tools that strengthen the narrative against the royal family and their lavish, unaccountable lifestyles. The core argument of Republic has always been that the monarchy is inherently undemocratic because it places one family above the laws and norms that govern everyone else. Andrew's situation provides a tangible, high-profile example that appears to confirm this bias. When Graham Smith talks about the failure of the police and the politicians to act, he is not just criticizing a legal procedure, he is underscoring the political impotence of the state when confronting power derived from birthright. This narrative is highly effective among a public increasingly sensitive to issues of privilege and inequality. The monarchy under King Charles Roman III is attempting to project an image of modernization, frugality, and dedication to public service. Every time Prince Andrew's name is mentioned in conjunction with corruption or sexual assault, that carefully cultivated image fractures. The actions of one individual threaten to undermine the entire edifice of the House of Windsor, proving the vulnerability inherent in a system reliant on inheritance rather than merit. The fact that the Metropolitan Police previously decided against a full criminal investigation into the sexual assault claims is central to Republic's strategy. They are essentially saying that if the state refuses to uphold justice due to political sensitivities or institutional deference, then the people through their representative groups must step in. This concept of a private prosecution, a citizen-led effort to force accountability, is a radical and deeply symbolic challenge to royal authority. The evidence that Smith refers to, which he believes is strong enough to justify a serious investigation, remains the crucial unknown factor. Whether this evidence relates to the original sexual assault claims or newer information regarding corruption and misconduct during his tenure as a public representative, a role that involved extensive travel and access to global figures, what Republic's legal team is now meticulously piecing together. Conclusion: the unavoidable crisis. The situation confronting Prince Andrew is rapidly escalating from a personal humiliation into a full-blown constitutional crisis driven not by traditional political opponents, but by a focused, determined campaign group utilizing the mechanisms of private law. The former Duke of York faces pressure on two fronts: the internal exile imposed by his own family, forcing him to abandon his historical residence, and the external legal threat posed by Republic, which seeks to hold him accountable for charges of sexual assault, corruption, and misconduct while in public office. His consistent denials stand in stark contrast to the severity of the legal net tightening around him. The palace's advice to change his surroundings and seek refuge at an unknown destination highlights the severity of the stress he is under, and the royal family's desperation to mitigate the immediate fallout. Yet running away does not make the legal threat disappear. It merely buys time. Graham Smith and Republic have made it clear. They will not look the other way. They are determined to see justice done, viewing this entire episode as a critical test of whether the basic tenet of democracy equality under the law applies even to the highest echelons of society. This ongoing drama poses a question that King Charles Roman III must answer, not just to his brother, but to the nation. Can the monarchy survive if it is perceived to operate outside the framework of the law? We want to hear your thoughts on this unprecedented development. Do you agree with Graham Smith that the justice system has failed to act impartially, necessitating a private prosecution? Or do you believe Prince Andrew is being unfairly targeted by those seeking to abolish the monarchy? Please share your perspectives and insights in the comments section below. Your engagement helps us understand the pulse of public opinion on these critical royal matters. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more in-depth analyses, and join us for our next celebrity and royal update. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take